What's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning back into Two Car Garage. If you missed last week's episode, be sure you go back and watch it because we started making a lot of awesome progress on this 65 Honda right behind me. Remember, we're restoring and building it from the ground up or frame up. We got the front forks attached, got the rear swing arm attached. It's actually starting to look like a motorcycle now, which is pretty awesome. Got a lot more work to do this week. I think what we're going to do is start on the front end and just sort of go up now with the handlebars, maybe some controls and cables, and then just slowly work our way towards the back of the bike. So be sure you comment, like, subscribe, stay tuned. Got a lot of work to do. All right, so what you just saw, the steering, collars, and that's actually a steering head dampener. As you tighten it, it tightens the steering a little bit. So that's all on, that shroud is on, and now it's time to put the handlebar on. These are really unique handlebars. You can't just buy any 7/8 bar and put it on because the throttle is embedded in the handlebar. So the throttle cable actually comes up through the handlebar into the throttle, which is attached to like an angled cam type thing, so that as you turn the throttle, instead of pulling a cable, it twists and pulls on the inside. So either way, moral of the story is I have to clean these up as best as I can because it's not really easy to find replacements. So to clean it up, what I like to do on chrome like this, that's not too bad and doesn't need to be like perfectly mirror finish, is I take some of the finest, like 0000, whatever it is, the finest steel wool you can find with some heavy metal or chrome polish. I just use the Chemical Brothers heavy metal polish, just rub it in and it gets it pretty good. You'll see what I mean. All right, the handlebars turned out really nice with that steel wool. Like I said, it's not like it gets it perfect. Surely not as good as, tearing it down and then re-dipping it in chrome, but it smooths it out, eliminates a lot of like little rust spots and things like that, and it's pretty nice. Unless you're taking your motorcycle to Pebble Beach, it'll do the trick. So now we have to install all the hardware on the handlebars, all the cables, even the throttle cable, which you'll see runs internally. So we have to build the handlebars off the bike and then put it back on. So let's do it. All right, you ready for the best trick in the world to get and feed the entire cable through the bendy handlebars? It's cheap and it's easy, but you wouldn't necessarily think of it. This ball chain. So you just attach one end of it to the end of the cable, let the chain fall through the handlebar because it'll just fall right through, and then just pull it through the other end. Watch. All right, you can see the handlebars are pretty much back together now. We have the lever and the mirror mounts on. They kind of go on first. Next comes the switch controls. Next, the throttle cable runs through about half of it, comes up, is on this cammed sleeve on the inside that the grip attaches to. All right, now that the handlebars are pretty much all set and put together, we need to run the front brake cable and the clutch cable before we put anything else on. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. I just realized that all of the perches I put on backwards. So I'm gonna have to take all the controls off, take the perches off, slide them off, slide them back on in the opposite direction then. All right, and just like that, the handlebars are now on, and they're on correctly. You know what, in the scheme of things, if that's one of the biggest mistakes that I make, putting on the handlebar perches backwards, I'll take it. It's really not that big of a deal. And sure, I had to take all the handlebars back apart, run all the cables again and things, but because I just did it, it went pretty quick this time and it really wasn't that bad. So what I'd like to do now that the handlebars are pretty much set is connect a lot of the wiring connections that sit behind the headlight. All right, continuing the electrical thing, let's move to the back of the bike and start installing the tail light. Right now I want to install, I call it a rear torque bar. Not really sure the exact name for it, but it just braces the rear brake hub to the frame to keep it centered in position. So I'm going to install that now. It's kind of underneath the swing arm area, so it'll be kind of technical. Might be hard to see, but hang in there. So I need to test a few things before I go any further with the front headlight. So I need to test the speedometer to be sure that the cable-driven needle actually moves. There's 2 lights that go in it. I need to test those bulbs. And then there's also a neutral light that goes in the front headlight housing. So I need to test that bulb to be sure it works as well. To test the needle of the speedometer, what I like to do is put a piece of the cable in the end of a drill, insert it into the back, make sure it's pushed all the way in, and then go for it. Nothing. Alright, so that stinks. The speedometer is dead. These things are super expensive as well. So I think what I'm going to do is see if I can take it apart and see what's broken. what I realized was that it spins counterclockwise, not clockwise. Look, counterclockwise. Perfect. The speedometer works fine. I took it all apart for nothing. Well, at least I know how it goes together. So, you know how I just disassembled the delicate and fragile, ancient 50-year-old speedometer for no reason. As you saw, I didn't have the wherewithal to try it with the drill going counterclockwise, just clockwise, so I didn't realize that it actually did work before taking it all apart and ruining the gasket, trying to clean the faceplate, not realizing that it's just painted without any protective layer, so all that black paint just smudges as soon as you get it wet, so there's no way for me to clean that now. I was thinking about doing it with like Q-tips or something, but now the black tiles are faded and stuff. You can see it's just like metal painted on tin. So I actually found a guy on eBay sells vinyl stickers that look exactly like this, that just overlays on top for like 16 bucks. So I ordered that. That's on the way. Once that comes in, I can reassemble the speedometer and put it back in the bike. So all in all, it was like a $16 or $17 mistake in the scheme of things. I've made a lot more expensive mistakes over the years, so 17 bucks, I'll take it. All right, everyone, thanks for tuning in. We've got a lot of awesome work completed on the Honda behind me. The handlebars are pretty much done. Sure, we had to do it twice, but nevertheless, that's how it goes sometimes. A lot more little bits here and there have been attached. We're getting close to installing the speedometer and headlight, getting even closer to rebuilding the rear shocks and getting them attached to the swing arm, and even closer to the engine reveal and installing the engine. Just wait until you guys see it. It's going to blow your mind. Be sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Remember how important it is for you guys to do that. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.